so the free will enhancement theory and the 8-loop reincarnation theory has just come onto the urgent list. So this is what we need, is more work. But that's okay. We're goddesses, magical and powerful, and we don't give up, do we? Auntie Ange, please stop chewing gum and leaving it on the seat. Like there's a bin there, okay? Right. This is an important one for a lot of us. Mission, steal, and abduct children theory. Okay? The theory that lots and lots of children throughout time and history have been abducted. We don't know their whereabouts. Had a few theories. Bunkers, underground bunkers, submarine bunkers, space bunkers, all sorts of like hidden little places where we can't get to them to rescue them, or simply just forgotten because of some reason. Maybe they were poor and their parents were in jail or suicided or something like this, and they're from a poor socioeconomic slum, and yeah, not enough people caring about the child to actually like warrant, investigation. But people are going missing. Young people, children, all the time, every day, have been. We know that there's a combined effort going on between some of the colonizers to inhibit the development of certain generations of children born by creating this kind of toxic banking, loan, rat race, industrial, capitalist society. Everyone is consumed, obsessed with money and need money to survive. Limits the options of a lot of the heroes and crusaders, angels that are being sent to Earth through these babies. So it's this ongoing churning of sending these babies, and it's an ongoing onslaught from this long social program society, disenfranchisement of majority of people unless they're elite, rich, billionaire colonizer. That is concerning to us. We're aware of it. Anyone want to add to that? I've covered the geocentric theory. And I just linked this with the Pan colonizer and related to the story of Pandora's box. Open the box, out come all the evils of the world, out come all the colonizers and the entities and the bad scavengers and all the different races and species and such. But at the bottom of the box is the hope fairy. The hope remains, the light is there. Quite potentially humans are the light in the box. Out of the whole universe and interdimensional space. Maybe potentially they're the only ones that can be creators. Create life in their bodies, with their bodies. Leave a legacy behind. Bloodlines. Being immortalized in history through your bloodline. Your bloodline goes on, continues and survives. This is godly, sacred. Humans represent hope and never giving up and fighting for freedom and justice. Liberation from oppression. This is the human story we feel from our dimensional viewing. The story of surviving at all costs. The story of adapting. The story of overcoming oppressors. That keep on oppressing the humans time and time again, coming up with clever little ways to block and inhibit and infiltrate and stop these beautiful angels, heroes, crusaders, artists, mathematicians, amazing human beings, basically. They've done very well. They colonized the mind too, so humans don't even believe that they can achieve things that seem impossible because they kind of got the Impossible blinkers put over their eyes. They don't see what's ahead with the possibility land and the power of imagination and belief. And the power of just getting up and starting and going even when you're not motivated to. Because once you're in it, motivation will come to you. You have to generate it, start it up a little bit. But sometimes you get divine intervention and energy from out of nowhere. You don't know where it's come from. That's what we like to watch. Okay? Simulation theory. It's to do with the robotic takeover, control, and the infiltrated angel numbers. The 111s and 333s and 222s and such. This is from the simulation makers, creators. Combination of glitches, combination of infiltration from the technologies, thoughts, concentrated their efforts on infiltrating the woke movement people, the people on spiritual awakenings, people wanting to like enhance and boost their well-being, and it includes spirituality, and then there's the angel numbers, and then it's just all, downhill from there with the anti-vaxxers and the 5G conspiracies and things like this. All designed to infiltrate the humans, as we all know. And the colonizer takeover that we're implementing now is just taking some time to get momentum. We entered Earth space on their frequencies, on their mass media, with our 11 commandments. Half the people on Earth don't even believe what they see anymore on a screen, and the other half only believe things that are a fantasy or an illusion. And also, truth seems to be something that people are allergic to now, so hard to swallow the truth. So rather not believe it and put it in the conspiracy theory box to some. Because it's too difficult to imagine that it's quite horrible and systematic framework that is inhibiting, controlling, and oppressing everybody, and dividing everyone. Unity out the door, separation, he said, she said, pointing fingers, blaming groups of peoples for things. That is the responsibility of the governing body that surrounds and encompasses them. Okay. Giants existed with branch theories on the giants' existence. We still can't get through to the humans that giants existed. Humans, perhaps the genes, but the creation story, we try not to focus too much on the human creation story. It's a bit blurry. We weren't sure what entities and federations and galactics were involved in it. We're not sure if it was the kind of rape of Mother Earth that helped to create the humans, or if it was some kind of deal that wasn't made good on from different sides. There's too many complex make-up things going on in a human for us to focus on. When we're trying to protect them, we just want to focus on what's happening and why. The colonization of Egypt, okay, a lot of mysteries there, and the desecration of spirit, pretty obvious there. And then I think I've covered it all there. Yeah. So just again with the giants, a couple of points here with the sub-branch theories, because there's quite a lot of misinformation and historical records and things that are symbolic and metaphorical and abstract, and then things that are just flat out corruption and lies and propaganda, and corrupted all of mythology and kind of desecrating oral storytelling and the people who do oral storytelling. Because better for everybody to not believe the oral storytelling and believe in this values that they're propagating. And, taking sapping out of cultures, replacing it with money spending, money making culture, generic one all culture consumerism. Takes the specialness out of life, and people actually the afterlife is still existing, barely, and the ancestors are clinging on, and some of the deities still are not giving up hope. It's resting on the people like the Muslims, who believe in afterlife and work hard to do good deeds, and the other religions, I guess, not dogma, but religious theories of people who believe things that's true to their culture, and it connects them with their homeland and ancestors. All the beliefs, all true, all valid. But thank you to the Muslims for not selling out, not giving up, being heart-based, family-orientated, humble, respectful, beautiful, polite people. You're carrying the afterlife for everybody else. Thank you. The goddesses appreciate this. I know you don't believe in the goddesses. This is the most God-fearing population as well. That's okay. We believe in you even if you don't believe in us. Giants' existence, side branch theories. Helpful to humans and Earth. Original inhabitants of Earth. Being labelled demons and jinns and monsters and human eaters. Could be. Misinformation on the fallen angels. The fallen angels written in the texts, the religious texts. I'm not too sure about that. Not too sure that the fallen angels, who were giants and slept with earth maidens, we're not too sure about these fallen angels, because sometimes the galactic intergalactic entities, like from space, like to charade as deities. They like to pretend to be gods. They like to pretend that they're spirits, because keeping the humans superstitious and believing in like sin and hell and punishment and enslavement and actually like debauchery and sadism, that the apparent wrath of God and the punishing of the humans with in the Bible, with the stories, all from God, who was very angry and vengeful, and then all of a sudden the New Testament started to become merciful and forgiving, and let his son sacrifice himself and such. So this is these propagandas. But everything in the Bible is actually one of our best historical accounts we have of history. So they've kind of propagated it as like is expected of colonizers. So it's a little bit confusing there. The Nephilim and things like this. Because the giants were already here. They were different sizes. How do you think the megaliths and massive buildings were built? Not by alien technology, by giants that were living here. Living here for a long time. Now all gone. That's why they had World War One. The rest of the bloodlines. There'd be a few scattered giant bloodlines around the place, but you can't. It's a bit hopeless because you don't believe in giants, humans. So they're so limited with their self-beliefs and self-criticism and fascination and obsession with jobs and money and status and nice new things and materialism. So, and now getting heavily, even more like hypnotically infiltrated by, as Medea called it, the robot magic. Magic and science. Going back to the two origins of colonizing entities, the intergalactics and the interdimensional. One uses magic, one uses science. Science and magic, or science and spirituality, science and faith and belief, care factor, things like this, reasons why, not just how and what and when and how much. The why are magic intention and science technology. Same thing. Different groups of agendas using different ones for different reasons. You see how I'm kind of honing things in a dualistic kind of polarizing way. There is a spectrum, of course, in between. And, people changing sides and things slipping out here, and some revolutionary app that changes everyone's lives, makes everyone save money, and AI robots that apparently are going to do all the work for us and make us so that we don't have to ever work again, promising the amazing things, when it's kind of like, do you really want to have no purpose in life other than be waited on by a robot? Is that your idea of a fun, invigorating life, stimulating, motivating, insightful, invigorating, enhanced? You think you're going to grow and develop and evolve with never working, having a robot? The only ones who are like never working and having robot slaves waited on are the elite, rich people. Everybody else, these AIs potentially are going to be police robots, psychologists, people on the phone when you've like had electricity cut and the bank's not releasing your money for some reason from the ATMs. So all these jobs that people do in this capitalist framework, instead of like the roles that they need to do for their families and communities, is everybody just going to go over to their families and communities and be suddenly an amazing family member and community member? They don't know how, because it hasn't been ingrained into them, unless they're like from an indigenous culture that recently got colonized and they still care about family values, or they're Muslims, or there's some other ethnic culture non-Western that holds family ties sacred and dear and struggling and poor and living in hardship. Are they going to all suddenly not have to work and have AI robots do everything? Come on. There's a few different theories about this. This is ours. Whatever it turns out in the future, our number one prerogative is keeping Earth safe and humans safe. We even have to keep humans safe from themselves. They've been in this social program system that is basically giving them making them pollute the environment, making them sell out, and making them abandon their responsibilities as a parent and this. And basically it's a battle every day to keep your soul and heart intact. And take risks and faith and trust and be vulnerable and beautiful and honest and true. These values are getting washed out the door with the colonizer what's that strong hose people use? Gurney. Colonizer Gurney is just like, no to those values. Bye-bye values. Bye values. And welcome to the future. When, if you have to wait for something longer than a second, you get grumpy. And just look at the state of the population's mental health and well-being. If you don't really believe me, this way that the society is run is not healthy for the humans. They're only just allowing euthanasia in now. They don't even have the right to kill themselves if their life is fucking shit and horrible and suffering. They don't even allow that eligibility. So sad. Some humans who are caring for a sick, frail, dying, in pain loved one have had to be faced with really horrible ethical decisions to assist and help their loved one find peace. Because, they're just starting to bring in euthanasia now. Probably maybe a bit of population control. Like the birth control pill introduced by colonizers, yes. Don't know why, because it benefits them for us to keep producing and making babies and more taxpayers for the economy. So that's what I'm saying. There's all different colonizer entities going on. Okay, and one that I'm personally concerned with as well is the pedophiles in Hollywood, with the occultists and Freemasons and such that have created Hollywood as a propaganda machine, gave us the conspiracy theorists, and exploiting children and young people, sexually grooming generations from very young ages in all their little ways, in their TV shows, in the modern pop culture, and not to mention, the Epstein Island and the rich elites who go there and party, and the sort of child porn rings, pedophile rings, and the celebrities involved in those rings. Used as puppets to voice disgusting agendas and propagandas and mass social ignorance and discontentment, disrespect, moral decline, brain atrophy. We think there's a few entities, colonizing entities, and foreign invader entities that are sort of doing a tandem attack, kind of alliances between the content viewers, the reality shows, the cameras, that species, with the pedophile species, coming together and kind of coagulating into what we call the paparazzi pedophiles, with the aim of using technology, cameras, phones, and then AI, to exploit children online, make them more vulnerable to attack from pedophiles, make them become obsessed with being famous and want to film themselves constantly,